Good morning and welcome to your Fiscal Court. Let me read what day it is. It is April the 15th, a little after 9:30. And let me read you, we have some folks that I haven't seen in a while, or some folks that haven't been here before. The procedure here in Fiscal Court, well, this is your court, it's your tax dollars, so I'm very glad you're here. And in order to expedite the business of our county government, in an orderly manner, I will have citizens to speak for 3 minutes if you so choose. Like, for example, if something comes up that you want to ask a question about, or just simply make a comment, you'll have 3 minutes to do that. Do you have to take the whole 3 minutes? No, you don't. And then after you have had your 3 minutes, or whatever time you want, I'll turn it over to the Fiscal Court members, the 5 of us up here, the 5 of us voting members, 4 magistrates and myself. And they will have an opportunity to respond to what you have said if they deem appropriate. And then the final step is you, the citizen, will have a 1-minute rebuttal if you so choose. Any questions on our process? Okay. Our agendas are back there in the back where Roger Hobbs is sitting. And then let's begin with the most important part of the meeting, in my opinion, and that's the prayer and then the pledge to our flag. And I'm very honored to introduce to you all Pastor Cecil Comstock. He's with the North Florida Christian Church. Brother Cecil, thank you for being here. Let's stand.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we're so thankful that we have this day that you have given us. Father, we're thankful that you are a just God and that you have given us establishments like this that allow for justice to take place, for information to be given. God, we thank you for leaders that you have anointed and placed in situations or in positions as this, that we are able to come to a place of trust and find protection and refuge. Lord, we pray that today during this meeting time, Lord, that you would remain sovereign and govern in this meeting. Lord, that all the people that are here would find a refuge not only in this court, but in you, Lord. Father, we pray that during this time, hearts and emotions and mindsets would all be brought together for unity, or for the betterment of Bullitt County and the people of Bullitt County. Father, we have this weekend coming up that is a great opportunity for us to always celebrate your love and your grace to your people. And so, Father, we pray even this morning, Lord, that our minds and our hearts would be set in the right place as we seek you for justice, seek you for mercy, seek you for wisdom. We ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Brother Cecil. Very much appreciated. If you want to, if you have signed up to speak, that's fine, I'll still let you speak if you haven't signed up. So, never mind, we're almost done. Okay, number 4 on the agenda, presentation and approval of bills. Action is requested.
Judge, I have a question, well, it's not a question, I really met with Laura about it. It's, just a minute, let me get to it. There's a Davis computer repair on here, and, it's for $3,548. I'm to understand that we do have a, contract with, what is it, Chris?
Professional office solution.
What is it?
Professional office.
Professional office, yes. And also, I saw the bill, there's been 2 computers bought, and I was under the impression that we were supposed to approve anything over $1,000. And we were not asked to approve these 2 computers being bought.
Let's take a look at that. Deputy Judge, you have anything?
Laura, I went to Laura's office and looked at everything on this. I had several questions on different things. And this was, I mean, I think that all of our departments should use the same computer place that we do, since we have a contract with them.
Well, I suggest we bring in Laura, because I do not know where, I don't know who.
It was a jail. It was the jail. It was a jail, yes.
That was our, we had, I mean, that was.
Jailer, if you don't mind, so that there's not this back and forth bickering going on, can we just,
Well, there's not really big, I just wasn't sure about this Davis computer thing, because, I mean, we had the,
$1,000 limit?
and also, we also have a contract with
Professional office.
professional office.
Okay, well, let's answer the first question about the $1,000 limit. Is that in the administrative code or can't remember? Okay.
And also, this,
Well, I'm sorry, but let me answer that one first, because, no, if it's in the administrative code, then,
it should have been brought to the court, right?
I'll let Monica answer that, the county attorney, or one of the magistrates. Deputy Judge, you've got a look on your face, because it is being brought before fiscal court now. Go ahead, Deputy Judge, if you want
I'm
to.
just trying to remember exactly what the administrative code says. I think it says if it's more than 1,000, that 3 votes are supposed to be obtained
Before the bills are presented to this body.
before it's purchased.
Also, there's a
Wait a
700,
minute, let's get to the bottom of this situation. So, Deputy Judge, would you go get the administrative code? No, let's answer these questions that we have so we can follow the correct procedures. Okay, go ahead.
but there's 2, I mean, every, month, there's $700 fee paid.
So,
To use this Davis computer repair. So there's 2 on here where they were backed up on their billing. And so we've got 2 of those 700s on here. And one of the computers was $1,110.50, the other one was $1,037.50.
well, I suggest before we proceed that we get the administrative code out, see what it says, and move on from there. Are there any questions?
No.
Is that the will of the court to go ahead and look at the administrative code, or do you, or does the court wish to move on? Okay, I'm hearing. Okay, section 4, small purchase procedures. Letter A, all department heads may purchase materials or supplies for $1,000 or less, provided there are sufficient funds. in the budget line item for payment of the appropriation. And letter B, all department heads may purchase materials or supplies for more than $1,000 but less than $20,000, provided, number one, they obtain quotes from 3 vendors. If there are fewer than 3 vendors, the judge executive or her designee shall be notified. Number 2, they notify the judge executive or designee if the lowest quote is not selected and of the reason for not selecting it. And number 3, there are sufficient funds in the budget line and an adequate bank account balance for payment of appropriations. Okay, how do you wish to proceed, magistrate? Because obviously, that's what it says in the administrative code.
Well, it's already on the, open invoice out of your office, so,
That doesn't mean you have to approve it.
no.
Just because my office submits bills
I
to this
know.
body,
Why was
doesn't mean that
you
you
it's
have to
already,
approve
it's
it.
already here, so.
But that doesn't mean you have to approve it.
County attorney, what would be the route that we would take on this?
Well, I've got a couple of questions. No one talked with me about this before, so I'm sitting here trying to read the code as fast as I can. Under contracts and purchases, it's the judge executive is responsible for negotiation and execution of contracts for goods and services and administration and supervision of county purchasing system. Is there actually a contract here, or is this just a bill? Is there a side of contract? Because you're mixing the word
No.
between contract and purchasing.
Contract with Davis, not.
Yes, there is. There's a contract with Davis. When we went all, was going to everybody that was in the county. He was already there, and there is a contract. There has been a bill coming from him, for the second year that we was in here.
I think what we need to do
He was already in place when everybody got their contract. You all signed a contract for Mark Davis and has been in place since about a year and a half or 6 months after you all took office.
if what the judge is saying is accurate, we need that contract. I mean, because you're not comparing apples to oranges by the division tree. So if somebody wants to produce that, I mean, I'll look at it now. If not, you can roll it to the next meeting.
Well, does it automatically, I mean, if we went up with professional office solutions, got that one. Does that, once we have that contract, it doesn't automatically void?
Without reading the terms, Ruthie, if I don't know what her contract says, if you all signed a contract, it will be around the same time. I have no independent recollection of that, but the contract should be stored in the judge executive's office.
I think that we should, I'm gonna make a motion to not pay this at this time, and then get this Davis Computer Repair Company's contract.
For the next fiscal court meeting.
Look at, have that available, maybe Lisa can send us a copy, can we put a
We
copy
need
on
both,
our box?
I need to look at both. I wanted with both, for the contract for both places.
Professional office solutions.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll get that. We'll get both of them.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
my question
Chamber, would
is,
you come on over here, please? Thank you, Chamber Knox.
my question is that this guy's been submitting bills since before you all took office and after you took office. And then when you all decided that you wanted the in-county person doing our check, he was already in place. He came here. He spoke with you all. You all signed a contract with him. And the money is in the budget for those particular computers.
But you're already over your budget.
Not in that particular line item, I was not over my budget. And we got the computers, he put them in, but he is our tech person. If we have a problem, that's who we call. And it's who we have been calling before you all took office and even after you took office. So this is not a bill that had just popped up this time.
No,
This
it's
is a
been
bill,
on there several times.
it's been there the whole time you've been in office.
But my thought was the $1,000 that was not approved by fiscal court.
Because it was in our budget and it was just it was under the contract of him.
Well, we're still,
I'm gonna make the motion not to pay this until we have both those contracts. And we'll see how it goes. If it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
If it becomes a term of the contract, then she would not need to go through the bidding. I see, she's
No,
not
I know
about,
the
we need to
bidding.
look at both contracts.
well, let me get a second to the motion, since we have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second to the motion?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any time you want to say it. Discussion, questions, comments? From anyone? Jay, what do you want to say?
No, I mean, I know the contract in place, I know for a time. It's not beyond a doubt, it was when everyone else came here. Office Solutions was one of them. Several of them came here and made their bill, and different ones picked, and I think it was the same one. That's when it happened.
Any questions or comments or concerns with the motion that's on the floor? Now is discussion time. Do y'all want to hear the motion? Ms. Brown, will you read that motion?
Yes, ma'am. The motion is to not pay vendor Davis computer repairs for line items 0351017050 and 0351013380, totaling $3,548.
Okay, last chance. Any questions or discussion on this motion? Hearing none, Ms. Brandon, may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
No.
Motion carries.
Okay, you still have to approve the hearings. Any other questions on the bills? The action is requested.
There's no other questions, I'll make a motion to pass the bills.
Thank you, Magistrate. Thank you, Magistrate. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on approving the bills without paying that particular bill that was just, that action was just based on? And Ms. Brown, the call roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Ms. Sharp, the treasurer's report. Good morning to you.
Presented in your packets are the bills to be approved from the treasurer's office dated for April the 3rd.
I make a motion to pay the treasurer's bills presented.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? But first, let's have Ms. Brown read the motion.
The motion will be to pay the treasurer's bill, at which time I will list out each payment.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? And Ms. Brown, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And also presented to you in your packets were an appropriation condition report, a warrant distribution, a tonnage receipt report, a monthly revenue journal, a transfer receipt report, an expenditure transfer report, a long-term liability, and a financial statement through March the 31st of 2014 as reported to the Department of Local Government.
You need approval on that? I make a motion we approve that as read. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Brandon, will you read the motion, please?
Yeah, the motion will be to approve the treasurer's report as presented, and I will put that report in the minutes for you.
Okay. And any questions or discussion on the treasurer's report? Yes, Mr. Ford. Would you come up to the podium, please? And Mr. Floyd will follow the process of, you have 3 minutes, and then the court will have a rebuttal time, and then you'll have a 1-minute rebuttal.
Yeah, Judge, Treasurer's report is, concern is with the sheriff's office budget. That's within the Treasurer's report here. Now, I understand from public records that right now, in February, the county engineers reported that the sheriff was about $240,000 over his county budget. As of to date, that has been doubled to $500,000. And I also understand that the state budget is approaching $1 million over the budget they appropriated. I would just like to know, as a taxpayer, and where the fiscal responsibility is going to come, and who's going to make up the difference, and how it's going to be made up, if this is in fact true.
Since the sheriff is a fee office, his funds go to Frankfurt, 75%, 25% comes back to the county. I think that in all honesty, and I believe that, and that's my belief, that the state is very slow in paying the bills, and so it looks like that he's in the arrears. And because I think a lot of it comes to the fact that when we pay some, and they pay some, and we're just gonna have to go through it and see exactly what the outcome is. And then we'll go from there.
So it's been doubled since February. If it goes a couple more months, it doubles again. That's going to be close to $1 million for the county side, and the state's going to go up too. So.
But as I said, we're going to do some looking into the situation, and at that point, then we will decide what we're going to do, if it is still in the arrears, and if it's not, that's it.
And who's responsible for it at the end, if it is, if it's not?
I guess it'll have to be the county.
So the taxpayer will pay for it.
Well, like I said, we'll just have to review it and see what the, that's all I know.
Where's the fiscal responsibility come from? I mean, there's got to be some guidelines,
Well,
and the fiscal court has to provide those guidelines.
the court will have to make a decision, once we've reviewed everything, and decide, and found out whether it's right or if it's wrong, and then we'll have to go from there to decide and make the guidelines, and then it'll be in the next fiscal court. Hopefully, we will have a good report then.
Do you have any questions for me?
I was just wondering, is this because you're concerned, or are you expecting to get an office out of this in the near future?
As a taxpayer, I'm concerned.
That's unnecessary.
Let's not. Let's have a discussion amongst, let's keep this order.
It's my responsibility.
I'm sure it's everybody's responsibility,
You know,
not just.
I know it looks political, it looks a little political here,
Looks a little penny to me.
but, well, that's your opinion.
Yes,
I'm
my opinion is
still
not everyone's
I'm still a
opinion.
taxpayer, and I've still got just as much responsibility as anybody else in this room has.
You're right.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm just gonna say a little bit, and if there's any questions, Myrtle Chris is here, she's our office administrator. It is nowhere, nothing like that appears. This is very complicated, and I'll get it all tangled up if I even get into it. But since we hit that magic number, 70,000 population, the state took over the finances of the county. We only retain 75%, 25% goes to them. And a lot of it has to do with our budget does state is way behind in paying, that inflates it. They'll get that money. Two big parts of it, is things that nobody can predict in any budget. When the retirement has went sky high, I mean, we're paying a lot more. The insurance has went sky high. There's no way that we can predict those things. When everything begins to wash itself, it won't be that way. It wouldn't matter if these two guys are in office with their, or with my opponent, or who. This is going to be the same. It doesn't matter who's here. So don't be deceived. Don't think that this is something that's not going to work itself out, because it will. And it's very complicated. Like I said, this is nothing like it appears to be. And if anybody has any questions about the budget or anything, Myrtle's here and she can explain, and hopefully you can. It's so complicated, it is hard to understand. But if you have any questions, for the commission, Myrtle can probably answer this. I think you know.
Can I say something? We just went to a meeting with the state over this.
John, stand up.
We went to a meeting with the state finance over this particular problem, because the budgets don't jive, because one works on a fiscal year budget, one works on a calendar budget. Where you submit bills, the state has a certain period of time to pay them. Out of all the counties in the state that are paid through the state, guess who's doing the best? Boyd County. Don't take my word for it, call them and find out. There is not one single county when they pay the bills that does not have the exact same problem. Like I said, don't take my word for it, call me. Okay?
Thank you, Chief Deputy. We're going to stick to our 3-minute thing. Does anybody have any other questions? Anybody? The magistrates, anyone in the court, or anyone in the audience?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead,
For you guys. And the question is, everybody in here knows who Richard Farmer is. He served a couple of years. And that was for abusing taxpayer money and buying some shotguns and giving away to his friends and everything. Two of the men sitting in this courtroom right now that are here out of their concerns are in possession of the weapons that was given to them by the former sheriff. And I want to know from the court what you want me to do about it, because in my opinion, they're in possession of stolen firearms. I don't think anybody from any office has the right to give away any property to anyone. So while they're so concerned about tax dollars and me wasting money, which that ain't happening, I'd like to know what the court, how the court wants me to proceed with the fact that they are in possession of 2 weapons that was given to them by the former sheriff. That's tax dollars. And I'm speaking as a private citizen and as a sheriff. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to proceed with that?
And this is a question for the fiscal court members.
It's a question for the fiscal court members. How do you want me to? And I have the serial numbers, the guns, and everything if you guys need it, and letters dated, signed by the sheriff, giving these weapons away to them when they retire, which you can't do. Everybody knows you can't give away any property. And they're worth several $100 a piece.
I think at this point that they should be turned back over to the county. If it belongs to the county.
Would you want me to pursue any charges on this, or do you want to just give them by? I mean, I don't know what we can and can't do.
I think we just need to really lift it on the forehead and give them by.
And can we forgive a crime is what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
It's a crime. I don't think you can forgive a crime. I'm not sure about that, but I'm not sure you can.
Well, in my way of thinking, if they'll just return them, that's fine with me, but it's up to the rest of the fiscal court. This is my part.
I think if you're in agreement to give them back, that would be great. Write it off. I don't see anybody charged with it.
I'm gonna do whatever you guys want to.
What's your part on this situation?
We'll be fine along with
To get them by and not anything otherwise? Mr. Bradshaw?
Okay, I think they've taken care of that situation then, so that issue's resolved.
Judge, I think we need a motion and a vote on that.
Is it legal to do that, county attorney?
It's county property, the decision will be that of the court.
I'm sorry,
It's county property, the decision will be that of the court.
to drop as far as any,
There's nothing to drop, nothing's been filed yet, I think that's your decision as to what to do.
oh,
And if you do a motion, and this is what you want to do, I will give it a date and time certain to turn over.
Okay, motion is needed then.
I make a motion for the 2 guns that were given by the previous sheriff, Mr. Donnie Hill, to be returned back over to the county. What'd you say? Oh,
Go ahead, Ruth.
and, no charges to be placed on the, 2 gentlemen that have them.
Okay, Ms. Sharp is saying, Magistrates, Ms. Sharp is saying there is a motion already on the floor. Okay, what's our motion on the floor?
Our motion is to approve the treasurer's report.
Oh.
That's right.
And
That's
then
Mr.
after
Boyd,
discussion,
yeah.
Mr. Boyd brought up the sheriff's.
Read the motion.
Oh, the motion is to approve the treasurer's report, which I will approve it in the minutes.
Yeah, is there a second on that?
Yes. Mr. Hunt and Mr. Latchwell.
No.
Okay, Magistrates, do you desire to go on with this motion that's on the floor already?
Yes, let's get rid of it.
Okay, then, is there any question or any discussion? Any questions or discussion? Okay, Ms. Brandon, you may call the roll on that motion.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Latchwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now, we have another motion, and Ms. Brandon,
Yes, you need the date.
Oh, for the
To be
return.
returned.
I think a week will be sufficient. 22nd.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
one last thing before you make a motion on this. Again, I want to do, I would like to do what the court wants me to do, what they advise me to do. But the way it was getting ready to be presented while ago, I don't think that the court can and should make a motion to where, that I can't take charges. Basically, I'm separate from the court, and I'm not saying I am. All I'm after is the property back. And in the future, if somebody else is in office, I just want them to be aware that you can't give away county property. So I don't think it should be part of the motion that, the court basically can instruct me not to do my job if I needed to do the job. If we get the property back, I'm fine with it as long as it's legal.
Okay.
But you can't make a motion order me to not take charges.
The motion is going to be that for the 2 gentlemen to return the guns back to fiscal court, and charges can be taken to the discretion of the sheriff.
Okay, do we have a second?
Yes.
Thank you, Magistrates. We have a motion and a second, and of course, Ms. Brandon will have me read this.
The motion is for the 2 guns with returning property given by the previous sheriff as gifts must be returned to fiscal court by April 22nd, 2014. Charges to be given at the discretion of Sheriff Green.
Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Would you guys have a county sheriff?
Sheriff, the previous sheriff needs to send a letter to that effect.
I don't know if you want to the sheriff to do anything. I'm just saying, you can order the current sheriff or a judge to take the top of the program.
sending a letter to the two gentlemen that received previous, received the guns. And then they will turn the gun 50. What question you have now, please?
Right now, it says, the motion is for the two guns which are county property given by the previous sheriff as retirement gifts must be returned to fiscal court by April 22nd, 2014. Charges to be determined at the discretion of the county sheriff.
Would it not be better if the charges just not addressed?
I'm not interested in taking charges unless it's necessary by law. As long as we get the property back, it belongs to the county, belongs to the sheriff's office also. I'm good with that. But I mean, that's something that I would have to discuss with, advice from the county attorney and determine that it's another point. If I don't have to, I'm not interested in doing it. I'm not trying to crucify anybody. I just don't want when I leave office, whether it's in January or 4 years after that, to have some missing weapons and then the papers that prove it come up missing, and they're going to be asking me where they are. That's all I'm after, but we were discussing concerns, private citizen concerns, and over how tax dollars are being spent. I thought, since the two gentlemen were here, I thought it was the appropriate time to bring it up, so where it wouldn't be just rumor. But again, all I'm after is the property. If we get it back, then I'm good.
Okay, we have a request, so what is the desire of the court? You gonna get pass the motion that really didn't?
We got voted on, yeah, right?
Voted.
So second.
John was adding something to the, John was adding to the motion.
Okay, so are we ready to move on with this piece of, we want to move on, or we want to table it till the next meeting? We've got a lot of people in the audience who need to speak today, so.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
And John, do you want to add something to my motion?
It needs that a written permission or written authorization be followed
For
through.
the sheriff to send those two gentlemen, that saying he wants to take the revenue.
Okay, so add that. Okay, Ms. Brandon, will you read the motion?
Yes, the motion is authorize the sheriff to contact through a written request of two gentlemen who are in possession of county property in the form of two separate guns. Given as retired gifts from the sheriff, it must be returned to fiscal court by April 3. Do you want to change that date then, so by the time he puts it in the mail and they get it?
You'll make it 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
By the time he gets it in the mail.
That'll be April 29th, would be 2 weeks. Charges to be determined at the discretion of the commission.
The county sheriff is supposed to send them letters.
Yes,
Oh,
the
you got
sheriff
that?
will contact through written request the two gentlemen who are in possession of county property.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, so no questions or discussion on this motion anymore? All right, and Ms. Brandon, you make a
Judge?
motion? Yes, sir.
You want to comment?
Yes, we can come up to the podium again.
Let's do it right here.
Wait, three,
It's our
I
understanding,
don't have a timer, she left.
it's our understanding, but the previous county attorney researched this, and by state law, the sheriff was authorized to do that, and that's what we know. So we didn't take these things illegally. The county attorney advised us that the sheriff could do that, and that's what we did.
Okay.
Okay.
And so that should be on the record then. You want that on the record, don't you, Mr. Ford? Okay. Yes, Ms. Higgins.
Well, I was wondering how long, that the sheriff knew this, that they had this for how long, that he waited to today when they asked the question about the budget, that all of a sudden was so important to do.
I knew that was.
Wait a minute, we're gonna have this back and forth again, so, Ms. Higgins, are you finished with your
Yes.
first part? Okay, Sheriff, go ahead. I apologize, go ahead.
I was aware, at least the last couple of months, but it was so close to election time, I didn't want to bring it up until after the election. I knew the county needed to get the property back, but the way today went, I thought since the gentleman were here, it was an excellent time to bring it up. If that answers your question. At least 2 months.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, I'm gonna go back and forth. So, Sheriff, are you finished with your statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Higgins, you have a 1-minute rebuttal.
Well, he knew for 2 months, I think that's the answer, he didn't have to wait. Oh, I thought the gentleman had it was a question that should be asked. You know, it's an okay question, I don't think it should have been, sort of charged with something at this point. It should have happened a later date, because it looks like he's retaliating for making, you know, asking a question. I don't think that's what our court wants to do. I think it's not good professionalism, so.
Well, and I've kind of just been put in the middle of it. I don't know what the prior county attorney did. I have no record of any of that. But I will have my office research that matter if the court is interested.
Yes, I would like to see.
Thank you, Ms. Higgins. Okay, we have a motion on the floor, and we're gonna call the vote. Ms. Rackham, call the vote.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Rasko?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
I'm gonna abstain until I hear from the county attorney. So my vote is abstention until we hear more information.
Motion carries.
Okay, number 6, approval of the minutes from April the 1st.
There was a few typos in there, and I have already discussed those with Ms. Brown, and it's just going to fix them.
So do I hear a
So I'll
motion?
make a motion to accept the minutes as they are, and they are.
Thank you, Magistrate. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? And this is approving the minutes of April the 1st. And Ms. Brown, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Rasko?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Who wrote that?
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you.
And next, we have presentations from Sheriff Dave Greenwell, the HIP fees collector. Sheriff Greenwell. Chief Deputy Copper. Good morning again.
Good morning. For the month of March, we had a total of 13 people signed or hooked up for home incarceration. Altogether, it generated $6,650. Our expense to Corsoft was $1,720. Distribution to the Board County Sheriff's Office of $25 to $2,557. Board County Attorney's Office, $1,326, and the Board County Fiscal Court of $1,047.
Any questions concerning this report? Hearing none, presentation letter B, Keith Griffey of TBI Bank, discussing and answering any questions concerning the pledge receipt and collateral security agreement. Good morning, Keith.
The judge asked me to come today to go over a collateral security agreement between Fiscal Court and TBI Bank. This agreement is basically in place because rough deposits are higher than $250,000. As most people know, FDIC insurance covers up to $200,000. It used to be $100,000. Years ago, they upped that to $250,000. Any relationship that is over that amount, we do something in banking called spread. And under, since this is public funds, there is a KRS, it's KRS 41.240, public funds law, that says that the bank, we actually purchase securities, bonds, and hold those as insurance for your own deposits. This is an agreement that covers all of the money, so that the money that the county has is all insured. FDIC insures it to $250,000. We purchase bonds, securities, any paper that's necessary to make sure that you all are insured, anything over that. This agreement doesn't cost the county anything. It's all in your all's favor. Now, we've had this is under KRS 41, the public funds. All banks have to do this for any deposits in the public arena that's over the $250,000. We've had this in place since you all banked with us. The last audit that happened, the auditor said that they would like to see a written agreement. So that's why we basically stated what the law is and put it in for the judge to sign, as well as the chief financial officer, who's Bill Barnhouse, and the Ford County guy, has signed it in the bank's for the bank.
Any questions for Keith?
And I have copies of this for any of you all that want to see it. But again, this is just it's an extension of the FDIC insurance to make sure that all funds are insured.
An action is requested to approve this document.
All the funds are covered up to what? 5 million, 10 million?
Whatever, it's a one-for-one. We purchased as the way the county funds go at the end of the year, when the tax revenues come in and things like that, when it expands, we go out and purchase more. It's always a one-for-one. We have to do that under the Kentucky state, under the public funds law. So it's a one-for-one. And as it goes down, we can sell those off if we want to make sure that if it looks like, and we never do that, but if it looked like the county fund would start to deplete and stay at a lower rate, we would probably sell some of those off, but there would always be a one-for-one.
I'll make a motion that we accept the collateral security agreement with PBI Bank.
And you can commission on
That's your job for me. That's part of it. You're asking for it again, sign it. That's how it is.
I'll second.
And again, this has been in place since we've done, you all been banking with us, and before that, with the banks, with whoever the fiscal court is.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor.
And I'll second it.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. Brand, will you read the motion?
This motion is to authorize and enter into a collateral security agreement with PBI Bank to ensure county funds.
Deputy Judge, I asked for permission, I asked from Mr. Hunt for permission to sign the document, and he stated, I forgot what your words were.
And it was your job to sign it.
It's my job to sign it.
Right.
Would you mind?
And you're asking for that job again. Let's sign it and get on with it. We don't need to have that on our back. You asked for this job, take it and run with it. That's it.
Deputy Judge, would you just share briefly why I asked for permission to sign the document without going into a lot of detail? So that the audience members will know as well.
Well, back in 2007, a motion was passed for something to be done without that wording without the wording that the judge had the ability to sign the contract. It was just for something to be done. That was done, and we lost a lot of money, and it was tried to be laid at the judge's feet because, yes, they told her to do what she did, but they did not tell her to sign the contract. And when that happened, she had to hire an attorney, to take care of that situation. So from that point forward, she has always asked for the motion to include
Well, I'm not trying to be hard nosed about it. I could add that to the motion, but I thought that was just part of the job when you asked for it to
You
go
would
with it.
think that because in 2007, you would have thought that was just a common sense thing when the motion was to move bank accounts to move bank accounts. But it came back that yes, that we gave you permission to move the bank account, but we didn't give you permission to sign the document to move the bank account. That's what we did.
You gotta do your job, but you can't do it anyway.
That's right. So now I said from that point forward,
Let's add that to that, Bridget, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Thank you, Magistrate. Okay, we need to.
The motion is to authorize the judge to sign an interim collateral security agreement with CBI Bank Inc. to ensure the county funds.
Okay, any questions or discussion on that? And hearing none, Mr. Brandon, may I call the roll?
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Glassman?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Griffey. We appreciate your input. I'm gonna change the agenda just a tad, because we've got people in the audience who are waiting. Okay, Mr. Little Riddick from Little Riddick, come on up here. I can't think of your last name.
Clark.
Clark, I'm sorry. Mr. Clark, thank you for being here today. And would you want to make your presentation?
Yeah. I got these the last time I was here, but also give them up to you all again.
And you can stay afterwards if you want, or you need to go, you can go. I don't want you to have to wait for 2 hours.
Yeah, my name's Rick Clark, and my dad, Richard Clark, and I'm a little race. We've been open for 2 years and 4 months, and we're trying to get beer sales by the drink on Sunday sales.
You want to explain about the city of Junction?
The city of Lisbon Junction is a classification of the city, we're not able to make the decision on themselves, so I'm trying to see if the magistrates could overturn it.
Any questions from the magistrates?
I see you highlighted this thing from Bullock County, should liquor sales be allowed on Sunday? It passed the 70% to 25%.
Yes, sir.
Is there any other drinks available in Lebanon Junction establishment?
What do you mean by that?
Anybody else serve on Sunday?
No.
They can go 15 minutes to Shepherdsville or 25 to
If I'm correct, I believe everywhere in Bullock County has it after by the drink, except for Lebanon Junction.
I'll make a motion to allow them liquor sales on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
I'll second that motion.
What was your motion?
Allowing them to,
No, we discussed, sorry, Commissioner. We've discussed this before. You have to do this by ordinance, okay? As I read this on the addendum, I had the law pulled because nobody had talked to me about this prior to the meeting. And the statute was completely changed on June 25th of 2013. You all passed an ordinance adopting Sunday sales in this county only for the wineries and for the bourbon trail. There was a great lengthy discussion on that at that time, and I explained very clearly that if you open up Lebanon Junction, to alcohol sales on Sunday, you open the entire county, which is, I'm not voicing my opinion one way or the other about that, but it has to be done by ordinance. There has to be a public hearing, and we have to amend your existing ordinance now. Cannot be done by motion.
Well, doesn't the eateries in the city serve beer on Sunday with their foods?
This, certain size cities can pass their own ordinances. Lebanon Junction's too small to do that. So it falls in the category of the county.
But that's right, because they can't do a 5, I mean, they're not a 5, so they have to come to the county.
Well, like I said, the law extensively changed on this part of the statute, okay, in June of 2013, which was after the last time you all looked into this possibility. I'll be glad to update that, because I just had, that's what Tammy run down here, the new printed off and the sections that were replaced, so I could kind of go through it as fast as I could here. But if you can do it, we have to do it by ordinance. You need to instruct me to draft that. You have to have a first and second reading, but you open it up countywide, as long as you know the ramifications. And I'll be glad to provide you with the research.
So there's no way to open up just for like.
No.
What was that comment?
There's no way to open it up just for like.
A legislative body in the first, second, third, or fourth class, or urban government, and that's it, none of them are Lebanon Junction, I believe they're fifth class, right? They can restrict themselves. You all are a governing body for the county. So if you pass something, you can't restrict it to a territory. You are the county.
Do your cities, Joe, have the beer, where they can serve beer in their restaurants on Sunday?
Yes, don't be good. They're fourth class thing.
Right, I understand that.
Seems as though this court has an agreement to go ahead and add that to your ordinance. I would be in favor of that. I don't know about everybody else.
If you all instruct me to amend your ordinance, I'll be happy to do this. Last time we looked at it, remember I think Bob was before you were on the court. I think we had 4 copies of it down here, because I didn't know which one you all were going to go with. So we got here for the first reading. We'll be happy to add it, but it is by ordinance. You have to be brand new paper and they'll have to be public hearing.
Is there a motion needs to be made, or do we just have to instruct you to do that?
Instruct me to draft it, I'll be glad to.
Does that mean any, if you do that, does that mean any establishment in the county can sell it by the drink?
Absolutely, within the guidelines of the KRS. There's other restrictions on how much receipts have to be from food and beverage, and, I mean, there's all kinds of restrictions in here. The only way I guess you care if you operate one of the facilities, to know what they are. And you have to be in compliance with all of that.
Did you jump on that one? Do we have to do a motion to replace? or-
No, you can just tell me that's what you want to do, and we will get done as fast as we can.
We'll do that. Once that's done, can he start serving, once he's got his orders and needs? Once the ordinance is done?
Once the ordinance, then have to go through the process. and make
Right,
sure-
our first reading and,
That's what you have to do to put it in place for him to apply.
right. Do you understand?
Well,
Is he gonna have to apply to this?
He's going to talk to lawyer, Magistrate Ashfall. I advise you all, and when he's needing questions about his business, he's going to have to ask someone.
You did that the last time, told him that, but he says, would you say you don't have to have
You
it?
don't have to have a lawyer.
If you want legal advice, you do, and that's what she just asked me to give you private legal
Okay.
advice. And I only represent the county, I'm not trying to be rude or inconsiderate, but I represent the county,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
I understand.
I just didn't know what his, move would be if we done the ordinance, what he needed to do next, other than getting an attorney. I mean, does he have to fill out some paperwork or something?
It'll be whatever forms that you all have that change that, okay? And then, I mean, I just had the statute was brought out. It has changed significantly, okay? It's tied in with the same changes that we just talked about with alcohol and the motor things, okay? I'm not gonna quote what will or will not happen with the counties and retail, okay?
Okay, Rick, let us, get her to do the ordinance.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
it's all right with the rest of the court, and then we can call or something and find out where it was at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, guys.
Rick, if you just want to call my office, that's fine.
Okay.
You can be in
The
touch.
public hearing will be the second reading, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Nolan.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. I'll be down soon, and there's an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, next Friday.
I'll thank you, Rick.
All right.
I like Elvis.
She's good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, managers, I'm gonna take the extension. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bullock County Extension Agency budget before they get to Nancy. No, they're gone. Good morning, Madonna and Daryl. Who else do you have? Yeah, Donna, Daryl and Madonna.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm here to present the budget, the county court extension service budget plan. There was an email sent to you all, showing everything, but we also, Daryl also brought a copy for each person to have to see what the budget was. It's basically the same budget as we had last year. There wasn't really major changes to it. And also for the tax increase, it stays the same as it was in the previous years. There was no increase in the tax budget either.
Any questions for Madonna or Daryl? And we don't have to take action on this, am I correct? We just need to.
You just accepting your budget or special.
It's that communication between us and the court to let you know what we're doing.
Do you have any questions? We'll go ahead and accept it in the record, right? Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Is there anyone else here that has business and they want to present it now, so we have to wait? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we'll get it. Yes, ma'am, come on up to the podium.
I'm not real good at this, so I
We don't throw tomatoes at you. We'll be nice to you.
I'm trying to find out something about getting work done on Logan. It's not county yet, but I want to make it county.
Okay, what's your name?
Patricia Redden,
I got you right here.
401 Redden Trail.
Tell us about it, Patricia.
We've been trying for about 5 years. I've talked to JB and the road department, and spoken to Ms. Ashball a couple of times. And we really need some help. Like, we've got 5 residents on our road. We're not we haven't been, a named road for about 6 years now. And we really need some help back there. We've got some people that's not well, and I'm getting old, and I need some help with our road. So I want to know what our options are. Ms. Ashball hasn't given me much hope up to now.
But, like I said, even if you brought it up to standards, the road standards, to be able to blacktop it, we can't at this time.
I'm sorry.
We can't do it at this time. You just want rock?
We just need some help.
Well, we still can't do that because, as far as I know, if I'm right about this, the moratorium doesn't allow us to take any more roads into the county system. Is that correct? Am I right, Jimmy?
Do what?
Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not even for rock.
How long is this, you say this has been going on for quite some
Before I
time?
got into office, yes.
What is our hopes of
What we should say.
time wise?
I think some of it's kind of muddy, okay? I don't know what you're referring to as a moratorium, okay?
I don't know. what
I've
it
heard
is.
people use that word, Jimmy and I've talked about that. Is her road not in the county road system, correct?
It's not in Raleigh County. It's not in the road system. It don't meet the county specs on the secondary plan to be tucking into the system. And the way the funds are right now, we just can't take them all over.
In 2004, the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Kentucky dramatically changed the laws in the state that dealt with roads, maintenance of roads, and what the county's responsibilities and liabilities are, okay? They tied all these strings upon us that if we help, we lose funding. Because they wanted to focus on roads that are in the county road system. They established a very detailed, rigid set of rules on what it takes to get that road in the county road system before it can even be, considered. I don't know of anyone that can help you with that, okay?
Wow.
That's right. And a lot of it, I'm sure, from their perspective, was budgetary, and they had to look at how much money they had at the state to feed into the counties and try to keep the county actual road system open, because there's all kinds of roads. There's public roads, there's private roads, and there's county roads. A lot of folks think that a public road is a county road, not necessarily, okay? But because of those restrictions, if that's what we want to refer to as a moratorium, since 2000, you'd like to meet that basic criteria now, or you're not even eligible to be considered by the court. Does that make sense?
Okay, so how do I go about that? What's my first step?
Well, Jimmy can give you the requirements that are needed to get your roads up to state specifications to qualify, to even be looked at under that statute. Okay? And we can't bend them. That's what the law says, and that's what it is. And they basically told every one of these county fiscal courts, you can't spend a dime to help any of these folks do that. Okay?
Pretty much anxious.
But even if she brings her road up to spec.
It's no guarantee.
Still can, yeah,
That's right.
there's a chance it's not gonna go into the
No, but
county
it's the first
system.
step.
That's right. It's the first step.
You know.
If they ever release that moratorium, then, you know, you
Well,
can
what
do
is
that.
out there? I mean, our taxes,
It's
go right
the
back to the same old thing, our taxes.
state.
I mean, we're not even,
But the state is behind on that.
That's why the General Assembly has that. It's not something local governments did. We are under direction by the Commonwealth. Okay?
okay, all right, well, I don't have first step.
That's
Thank you.
Sorry.
So we can consider this same
Okay. 502-295, 5606 is my cell, that's the best way to get on. Red and Trail.
I'm sorry, do you want to speak?
Really, y'all,
And we rolled it.
You just send it right there.
you pretty much answered it. I mean, I'm not gonna be rude, but it's just, we continue to pay our taxes and not get our road fixed. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
So,
It's an issue you're gonna have to take up with your state representatives. Okay, they found the hands of every fiscal court in Commonwealth.
and
another game. Okay.
and who's our state representative?
And her district, and all of them.
Should be Russell Miller. No, Jeff Greer. Jeff Greer.
Jeff Greer.
We've got his information, if you wanna call us, here's one, Joyce, you wanna take my card? I'll be on Facebook. Where's your Facebook? Here, take my card and we'll give you all the information. Yes, Gary.
Is he really still, since the redistricting was done?
Today's the last day,
Today's last day?
the last day for the meeting in Frankfurt.
Oh, okay, but I mean, I didn't know if with the redistricting it was done, depending on who you asked, who was, I know most of them will talk to you, but I was wondering if they really, legally are state level.
And I came on JD's doorstep to see what you could get done. Just,
That's a good job.
I've known these ladies for years and years, and I feel sorry for them. I can't do it, I can't break the law.
We're not blaming you, Jim.
We don't want you to break the law, it's just that, you know, we are getting older and it's harder to maintain the road. And it's just that, you know, we feel like we pay our taxes and, you know, we support Bullock County. So, you know,
Well,
Can I make
yes, please, and I'll make a statement.
Since, you know, it's my first term in office, I totally agree with what you're saying, okay? But I'll let you know, every seminar, all of us attended, the first thing they told us, the first thing we talked about is roads. Okay, so it's a hot button issue. Okay.
We'll pick on it. We'll work on it.
This is what I have seen in the last several months. What you all just said, the people, now, you're the third, road, or third bunch of residents or resident I've heard from in the last several months. And what's happening is, like you just said, people are getting older, they can't maintain their road like they used to. There are spouses who are passing away, so it's just leaving the wife to maintain the road and leaving the residents. So the deputy judge and I talked about this yesterday, and it's interesting that you all are in here. So this is becoming a situation, this is becoming a challenge throughout all of Bullock County. Because, like I said, you're the third group that I've heard from that needs something done to their road.
We'll keep working on it.
Yeah. And I've got your phone number, Patricia, and I'll be calling you, because maybe there's something that can be done.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming in, and if you all can get the rest of the people on your road to be squeaky wheels and be vocal, the squeakier the wheel, the more people listen.
We've got one more. He's a school teacher though, and he couldn't get here today, so.
Yeah, those school teachers are loud.
And he is. So you'll be hearing from us. We're gonna leave.
And then I'll call you. Thank y'all for coming in
We'll be
and
squeaky.
for advocating for what you want, huh?
we'll get squeaky.
Thank you.
Squeak loudly. Thank you, Joyce and Patricia. Y'all have a good day.
Oh. Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Mr. Steve, are you here?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, there you are. Hey, how are you doing? I'm going to take you to, you have to wait forever.
My main concern is bringing to everybody that I didn't think it was very right that the road crews are out picking up trash from the jail with the Charlie Wright, the Charlie Wright sign on the back of it, and I was just seeing what could be done about that. You know, with Miss Knox sign, like I said, on the back of it while they're out picking up trash, that's a campaign.
Did you contact the magistrate?
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
one is it?
Mrs. Ruth.
Oh, Ruthie? Can you contact her?
4 vehicles out there for 4 inmates, that probably looks like a lot of tax dollars down the drain.
I think it kind of looks like a conflict of interest simply because, and it's not, it has to do with who you got on the block or anything, it's just the fact that they're getting paid to pick up the trash. And I really don't think that it should be on the back of his vehicle to campaign for Mrs. Knox.
Is everyone aware of what Mr. Sneed is talking about, magistrates?
Oh, see, or see.
Do you all think it, do you all think that it's, okay with John Joe, because, he's getting personal vehicle?
Which we pay for the gas, right?
Exactly. Plus pay him for watching the inmates, we pay him. So,
Maybe you could just put my sign and your sign on the back. I'm kidding.
And he's got a good, I think he's got a good question there as far as whether it be mine or whether it be yours or John's or the judges, who's that? It's kind of like they're out there working, kind of paying them, but they're also campaigning for a candidate. So, what do you do? Can you do anything about that? I think Martha has something she wants.
Well, I thought maybe communication had in here.
What's your thought on it, John? Joe?
No, there shouldn't be campaign for anybody for out there being paid for the county, using county gas.
I agree. If it was his own vehicle, and he had his on there, since he's running, that might have been, that could have kind of been understood. But now when you're out there getting paid by the county and you're electioneering for someone that's working for the county, and they're running.
Yeah, Jay, we want to come on up here, or just stand up where you are, please.
I was not aware of that at all, as far as that being on there. And yes, he is using county gas, and I will address that with him. I was not aware of that situation, nobody brought that to me.
Well, I think you just saw it, what, last week?
Last week.
Yeah.
Well,
Been going on for a little bit.
I will address that. No one ever said anything. No one ever called me or said anything to me about it. I don't follow them around. I may send them in a certain direction, but I don't have time to follow them and see everything that they're doing. No, I don't agree with that because it is county gas, okay? That is his personal vehicle, but I will address it with him.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Steve.
Yeah, I think I'd like to make a suggestion.
Sure.
Okay. If it's your private vehicle, I sincerely doubt you can regulate what they do on their own time. But if they're contracting with the county, okay, you can restrict, I think, if they're representing the county while they're contracting. I would probably do that by resolution. And if you prohibit them from advertising, it should be anything other than Bullitt County, okay? Whether it's a private business they have, it should be their political signs or somebody else's, makes no difference. If they're contracting with the county and you're worried about, which it seems to be, that you want to make sure the public realizes they're Bullitt County out there supervising, then it really shouldn't be any signs, period, of anything,
So, we give you permission,
business or otherwise.
permission to do as a resolution?
Yeah, you can vote on it, we can type up the resolution if you want, just make a motion. Or you can vote at the next meeting, however you want to do it. Why don't you make a motion on the timeliness of it, and then we'll do a resolution at the next meeting as well. How about that?
Make a motion.
Make a motion to put whatever restrictions you want to place on it. And then at the next meeting, I'll have a formal resolution as well. Your motion,
I make a motion for the county attorney's office to draw up a resolution regarding any signs on vehicles that are not under contract to working for the county and giving to the
I'll second the motion.
next, at the next fiscal court, she's gonna have the resolution drawn up, and then we'll vote.
good turnout, thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Sneed.
Thank you, Mr. Sneed. Okay, Ms. Brown, will you read that motion, please?
The motion is for the county attorney to draw a resolution to restrict the use of signage on vehicles that are being contracted out for county work.
Okay, any questions or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Brandon, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Ross? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, Sandy, did you have anything else? Well, Jerry, did you have anything? Okay. Let's move on to our departmental reports. Roanne Hammond, Director of Planning and Zoning, text amendment, first reading. Good morning, Roanne.
We have text amendment document number 2014 T02 revised. The Bullitt County Joint Planning Commission proposed a text amendment to section 9.400 of the schedule of fees, charges, and expenses.
Okay, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an idea of the purpose behind this, and we have our hearing on these with our.
Okay.
The purpose of this amendment is to lift the requirements of obtaining a permit and paying the $25 for an accessory building, 200 square feet or less. This is consistent with the Kentucky Building Code, and no permit is required for an accessory building of 200 square feet or less. Basically, all we're doing is bringing our regulation into compliance with the Kentucky Building Code. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Zoning ordinance 14-05, series 2014, an ordinance relating to the text amendment to the Bullitt County Planning and Zoning Regulations, section 9.400. Be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of the County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth that section 9.400 of Article 9, the Bullitt County Planning and Zoning Regulations is hereby amended as follows. Delete, quote, accessory buildings less than 200 square feet, $25, end quote, and add, quote, one-story detached accessory buildings, carports, or structures with a floor area of 200 square feet or less do not require a building permit or payment of a fee, end quote. Number 2 sets forth that the rest and remainder of section 9.400 of Article 9 of the Bullitt County Planning and Zoning Regulations will remain the same. Number 3 sets forth that if any provision of this ordinance is deemed unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, that such provisions be deemed a separate provision, and such shall not affect the validity of the remaining provisions of this ordinance. Number 4 sets forth that this ordinance shall take effect upon publication. Given first reading at a regular meeting of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County on the 15th day of April 2014, and set for a second reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt Fiscal Court on the 6th day of May 2014.
Attorney, do I need to ask for a public hearing or any kind of public comment?
Anybody's got any comments, this is the time.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments concerning this text amendment? First reading. Hearing none, that takes care of the first reading. Yes, you may. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much. Jimmy Sowers, Director of our Road Department, widening of Christmas Lane. Good morning, Director.
Good morning.
How you doing? Did we have any snow this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
We did have snow this morning?
After this morning, I got up on the side and looked up and there's no one. And I said, thank the Lord, I appreciate it. But he took care of it. What we've got is Crispin Lane, that's in the north end, that's Mr. Latchell's district area. It's off of Zonkin Road. A section of it is in the city of Hillview, part of it's in the county, part of it's private. Mr. Richard Miles with Dogwood Homes is requesting the permission from the court to widen this road to the county standards because he's wanting to develop some of it, some of the areas in the back. would like to talk to him, he's here and ask any questions. We've done this before on Armstrong Lane. He has done this, Jennifer Lane, I believe, several more. So if you've got any questions about it, he's given me his liability insurance proof. And it's sufficient for county work. We will have an inspector on scene while it's being done, if you all so approve.
Mr. Ball, do you have anything to add? We thank you for being here today to answer any questions.
We'll be furnishing the materials and the labor and the work and everything, am I correct on that?
Yeah, I think the proposal, I'm sorry, I think what we've done in the past on, I guess we widened about a mile of Bogart Lane, we widened part of Bethel Church Road, Armstrong Lane, and the Gentry Lane. I think what we've done in the past is we provide the labor to widen the road, do the ditches, put all the rock in place, and then the county did the pavement. And that's what we did in the past, and that's what the city of Hillview agreed. The part that's in Hillview, they agreed that they would take care of the paving part if we do everything else. And then that's what we were asking the county to do. On their part, we'll widen the road, the 50-foot easement's in place, so we'll widen the road, put the shoulder in, put the ditches in place. We just own property at the end of Crispin Lane. We don't own, we've got one little spot of property along Crispin Lane. So basically, we'll widen the county road to approve it, just so that we can use and put an entrance at the end of the road. Got a situation, it's Oakwood subdivision, which I've just acquired, but school buses, actually, it's in the county, Oakwood's in the county, and school buses can't get the subdivision without leaving the county, the way it currently is, because they only access into that subdivision by going into Hillview, and I guess Jefferson County, actually, to get into that neighborhood. So what we're trying to do is widen Crispin Lane so we can put an entrance into Oakwood subdivision off of Crispin Lane, so the school buses will actually be able to access the property.
Any questions for Mr. Miles? Thank you.
The county has got 0.24, I just up there on the mile. The cost of blacktop on this section of county road only, after being widened, would be around $10,000. But as in the past, we let it sit for about a year after completion, so it settled in, we don't have any other problems with it, then we come in blacktop. That safeguards the county on blacktop. I would recommend this to be done. It's your all's decision. The reason I recommend this is if Mr. Miles now builds a lot of houses back in there, this is a narrow road, you're going to have more traffic issues, and be 3 times harder doing the work on widening later that we face all the time on the roads that we have. We'll take this to pass.
You need a motion on that?
Yes, I do. Please.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Will I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any question? Well, let me have one, so we're going to read the motion. Oh, we
The motion is to approve the widening of Crispin Lane. Crispin Lane.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Okay, Ms. Randy, will you call the roll?
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Ms. Rover?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
I'll be excused, I got me to go to in about 5 minutes.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, next we have Director Blake Phillips. Anything from Director Phillips?
No, ma'am.
Dennis,
Sure.
has anybody heard of an accident?
We have 2 crew members that are still in the hospital. One will be going into surgery sometime this afternoon for repair of her arm. The 3 individuals that were in the car that allegedly ran the red light were treated and released last night as part of that. So we're still checking into it.
Was the driver intoxicated? They hit him?
Rumor has it, yes, but we have no factual basis. It's just rumor right now based on witnesses and some other statements. Keith went down and started doing our preliminary investigation last night. They left and we left the hospital at 3 o'clock this morning. So
figured you had, but I don't know if it's small or tired.
The truck is back, we're getting all of our equipment, stretchers, computers, and monitors inspected. And the truck's being towed over to a body shop now to let us know if it can be repaired or if it's total, so that I
So
can
you
get,
don't know that yet.
so I can get on the ball and either get it immediately repaired or we can start working through the process of getting it replaced and what we need to do with that. So, county attorney's office is contacting me this morning, so I'm working with Shelley on some information they're needing, and I'll keep the judge and you all up to date this week. Progress on the condition of the employee.
Thank you very much.
We're working with the Jersey County Attorney's Office to make sure it was a drug driver that the proper charge was made.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, Mike, thank you. Magistrates, the other directors of this, present in the audience, or present in the audience. Oh, Larry. Oh, yeah, Larry. Well, I had to get Larry.
I'll be Larry. I don't have anything, Judge, just to remind everybody that cleanup days is this April 26th at Bullitt East High School, North Bullitt High School, and Nichols Fire Department. So it'll be the 26th of this month for them section. And we did a pre-bid conference on the cane dump. The bids will be in March, from May 1st, I'll open them May 5th, or everything one time. Anything else? If not, I'd like to be excused.
Thank you, Director Larry Hatfield, for
Thank you
getting
all.
our cleanup days organized. We love cleanup days. Okay. Ben, there's no one else, no other directors present, I can see. Under old business, number 1, second reading of ordinance 14-04, and ordinance amending ordinance 83-03, reaffirming and imposing a license fee upon certain businesses, occupations, and trades trafficking in permitted alcoholic beverages within Wood County. Can you bring the second reading?
Sure. Ordinance number 14-04, the judge has read the title. So be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of the County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth that persons lawfully selling or trafficking in alcoholic beverages shall obtain an annual license from the Bullitt County Clerk. Number 2 sets forth the definition of person. Number 3 sets forth that revenue derived from the payment of license fees shall be paid into the general fund of the county. Number 4 sets forth that the license fee shall be paid annually on or before July 1st. Further sets forth that persons engaged in the sale or trafficking in alcoholic beverages for part of the year may pay a prorated fee. Number 5 sets forth that the fees for each type of license said fees range from $25 to $400. Number 6 sets forth that any amount paid to any city within Bullitt County as a license fee for the same privilege shall be credited against the county's fee. Number 7 sets forth that the KRS Chapter 243 and regulations promulgated thereunder shall control as to the type of license a particular person must acquire. Number 8 sets forth that this ordinance shall take effect upon publication, and the prorating of license fees shall begin with and include the month of April 2014. Number 9 sets forth that if any provision of this ordinance is deemed unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, that such provision be deemed a separate provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining provisions of this ordinance. Number 10 sets forth that all inconsistent ordinances and resolutions are hereby repealed. Given first reading at a regular meeting of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky on the first day of April 2014, and given a second reading at the regular meeting of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County on the 15th day of April 2014.
Thank you, County Attorney Robinson. And that's it for, we don't have to do any kind of public comment on that one. Now, that was, I'm confused.
We'll do a public hearing at the second reading.
Okay, this is the first reading.
No, this is the second reading.
Yes.
Oh.
It was April Fool's Day on the first one.
Yes. Oh, that's right, okay, thank you. All right. Are there any comments? questions, concerns, consider.
Question, county attorney. Does this also state, I mean, does this say that the liquor places to be open all day on,
Election day?
uh-huh.
But what you all told me to prepare when we read as the first reading was to adopt the KRS as it currently exists, which does allow for those things. Yes.
So that's the KRS that's in here?
Yes, every bit is straight out of the KRS.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Is there anyone here from the audience that wants to speak? Well, no other comments or questions, concerns, and I suggest we vote on this.
I'll make a motion to accept the ordinance, accepting ordinance number 14-04.
I'll second the motion. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this ordinance. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Manning, you call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Robert?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Do y'all want to do business number one? Yes, Jerry.
Can I speak for a second?
You sure read it? Yeah. You're welcome to. I'll give you 3 minutes.
Thank you, Judge, Lord. My name is Jerry Summers, and I represent BME, of which we recently spent over $20 million on visitors experience. And on behalf of BME, we would like to thank you all and the wineries for approving that ordinance, because the primaries are always right in the height of Memorial Day weekend and their travel. And on behalf of the 633,000 tourists who traveled the Kentucky Bourbon Trail and the Line Trails last year, and those 350,000 visitors who come to our doorsteps here in Bullock County each year, we'd like to thank you for moving the community forward and making us economically equivalent to the surrounding communities and our competitors. Thank you. Any questions for me? Thank you all.
Thank you, Jerry. Okay, number 1, reappoint Dalen Thurl to the Dalton Fire Protection District, term to expire June 30th, 2017. I'll make a motion to appoint Dalen Thurl. I'll make a motion to reappoint Dalen Thurl. Is there a second? Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on the reappointment of Dalen Thurl to the Dalton Fire Protection District? All right, Mr. Chairman, we call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Robert?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, number 2, I make a motion to reappoint Jim White to the Bullock County Park Board, term to expire October 31st, 2017. I hear a second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on reappointing Jim White to the Bullock County Parks Board? Hearing none, Ms. Brandon, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Robert?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you all for that. Number 3, action is requested on Harper's Consulting Maintenance Agreement. Kenny, you want to talk on this? Any questions? Do you have any comments?
Judge, I might add, this Harper's Consulting, she's been a consultant for my software that I use for the county. It's the county budget reporter that I use to report to the Department of Local Government. I've been using it for approximately 17 years. So just asking to renew this contract with Fleming Harper.
Okay. Action is requested.
I'll make a motion to, well,
And give the judge permission to sign it also.
I very much appreciate that. Any questions or discussion on this motion? Ms. Brandon, may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts? Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Oh, you're good. Go ahead. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, because number 4 will make sure we get this one. Exactly right. Number 4, action is requested to add line item 01-5340-5480, Kentucky at Works Summer Works Program to the 2013-2014 Bullitt County budget, and to transfer $50,000 into that line item from the reserve account. Any questions on that particular agenda item?
Was that a motion?
No, I didn't make one. I was asking any questions. You want to make a motion?
I'll make that motion to accept it as read.
Okay.
Does Ken Ann need to write that check now, or?
No.
They submitted it.
It was actually in.
It's the budget in, yeah, that's what I was
It's
gonna
a
say.
thing, yeah.
I mean, it was in the,
Wouldn't that need to be an amendment?
it's already in.
Oh,
We just moved it from the reserve account into another. That particular line item was in the budget.
Did you read that? Did you make motion?
Mhm.
Oh, and I'll second it, and somebody else will read it. I don't think you can hear, sorry.
And go ahead and pay it.
I think it's already not
It's on
been,
the, it was on the bills.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Good question on that. All right. We have a motion and a second for agenda item number 4 as read, as Magistrate Ryan stated. Ms. Brandon, please read the motion.
the motion will be to add line item 01-5340-5480 concerning the Kentucky at Works program into the 2013-2014 Bullitt County budget and transfer $50,000 into that line item from the reserve account.
Thank you. Hearing no questions or comments, unless we get called roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Our next one, number 5, under new business, action is requested on the Marvin Avenue Sewer Extension Big Valley Sewer Rehabilitation Project, Community Development Block Grants, which is called CDBG, application number 13-029. Rosie,
this is in my district, and the amount that we're going to be, this is a preliminary approval. It's $238,000. But it was actually $400,000, but $1,000 and, but it's not in there. What was that? That was for some kind of maintenance or something? Or what we used at Big Valley?
That original amount that we were told, that was for.
Yeah, that's
Big
right.
Valley
The
project.
difference in this and the $400,000 was the money that we used to fix Big Valley is coming out of that, the $400,000 that was actually passed. And so the balance is going to be $238,000 for Marvin Avenue for sewers. So I would like to make a motion to accept and have the judge to sign this and get it back to the CDBG and
Marvin Avenue that appeared at the sanitation district meeting and clearly stated they did not want a sewer project, okay? And there was some confusion at that time as to who actually had ever talked to them before the grant was applied. And what the sanitation district advised them is that when and if something came back, they would go out there and talk to the entire neighborhood if they had to go door to door to make sure before the project was accepted. I know you got a deadline on here of a date, but I can't good faith let you assign that without knowing that there could be problems there, because if the Marvin Avenue folks do not want it, the question was, can the rest be shifted to over there in Prior Valley? And I don't know the answer to that, and neither did anybody at the sanitation district meeting. And it's gonna need those answers before I would encourage you to sign it.
The night that the people from Marvin Avenue was here, and you were here as well, and they got to the argument. I think from what Brian Kirby is saying, who is the guy that does the grant, that those people don't have to take the sewer if they don't want to. I don't think there's as many as they got petition signed. I don't think all those people is going, quite honestly, is going to deny it, because this money is going to be for 30 years to the people who agree to take the sewer and have it put in. And it's 30 years added on to their sanitation bill, which is going to be rarely anything. But I talked also to Roger Rechtenwald regarding this, and he said that we could use the balance if we come to the fact that they didn't all want that we could use it over on Big Valley.
Well, I remember that entire conversation, and what the Brian had asked the board to do that night was to vote to go ahead and see if we got anything. And then we would have to get it in writing if we moved the funds over. Roger thought that that would be allowed, but we don't have anything that I read in writing that said that.
Right.
And I just don't want you all to get in the middle of a sticky wicket and have to be in something and have a bunch of folks in here that says, if you didn't want this, why are you making us take it?
I don't think that we can take this money out. I've got a road that I want to put water on, but I can't take this for water.
Right.
You can take it for sewer, but not water, according to Roger.
Judge, what I think is we need to also make a stake and get something in writing. And the sanitation district prepared that if necessary, they told me they would have a special meeting if you needed to get a signature for a certain time. But they need to know the answer to that too. They didn't. Okay.
So you want to just table it then until you all hear from someone at the state or whatever?
I don't know that you got a choice on it.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I don't know that you got a choice on it.
Well, I think you called Frankfurt and asked them to.
Yes, our office called and let them know that it was gonna be on the docket today. I don't know if we got an unlimited amount of time to get this in. I can call and ask them.
We need to get this quickly because they can take this grant and give it to someone else.
Well, I understand that, and
I'm saying you're right.
with all due respect to Mr. Kirby, like I told him the night of the sanitation district, he gets paid to get grants.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that these folks, they came in mass. And if we say, yeah, we're going to put that money on the Prior Valley project, that would be super, because we need it, but we need it in writing from the state if we can.
Right. Okay.
So is that what I need to request?
So what, do I need to call, or does the judge
I
talk?
think the judge's office needs to call.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fiscal court was the grant.
Wilder, right, the commissioner.
So ask them if this money, this 238 can be applied to the Big Valley.
If the Marvin Avenue
If-
project doesn't go.
Right. If all the people on Marvin Avenue doesn't take it. Because I think they're gonna run it.
Listen, these folks seem to have changed their mind quite a bit, but the night we had a meeting, there was only one person I don't think they're gonna put the sewer line in, that's just my
I
thought.
think just
The
those
one person.
people that was arguing, the big guy and Brian and that family, I think they're the only ones that don't want it, quite honestly, other than that petition, and I think somebody, Brian, got them all confused.
That's why the sanitation board said they would go door to door and talk to everybody.
Okay, and I want to thank Magistrate Bradshaw for bringing to my attention that the deadline was April 14th on this, yesterday. Of course, they said, already called, the deputy judge already called the state, and they said it's time to wait till May. I'm like the deputy judge, I don't know what's gonna happen, we can just ask, we might end up losing money, but.
The commissioner will tell you, he'll tell you that, we can have certain income, I'm sure.
Okay.
And
I don't guarantee that. I can call him and talk to him.
But you'll talk to Brian, I'm sure, Brian Purdy, that we're on hold up,
Well,
till we hear from him.
Deputy Judge, you see, are you okay? Okay. My office, we will call Mr. Tony Wilder and let him know what the situation is, and then we'll let you know, Magistrate Bradshaw, what he says.
Okay. And I can call Brian, I've got his name. Brian Purdy.
Okay. I just cannot guarantee that
I don't know, I know.
we will be able to keep the 280,000.
So I'm
Since
going,
yesterday was the deadline, but they gave us today to go ahead and address it.
I'm going to go ahead and rescind that motion and make a motion to table it until the judge has spoken with the commissioner in Frankfurt, Tony Wilder, and then we'll get a hold of Brian Purdy and see if we're all right to hold this up until the next fiscal court.
And if I have to call a special meeting, then let's have to call a special meeting.
Okay, if they don't agree.
Yeah. Guess they need like 2 weeks.
Tony.
Tony Wilder, Department of Local Government.
Resolution being sent.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and, Ms. Brandon, will you read the motion?
yes ma'am, the motion is to table discussion concerning the Martin Avenue Sewer Extension and Big Valley Sewer Rehabilitation Project Community Grant until the judge's office has spoken to Mr. Tony Wilder, the Commissioner for the Department of Local Government in Frankfurt, and Mr. Ryan Kirby.
Okay. Okay, any questions or discussion on the motion? And Ms. Brandon, may call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts? Yes. Motion carried.
We've covered number 6. Number 7, I'll make a motion to appoint Dawn Watkins to the Bullitt County Salary Committee.
Are we going to make one of those?
We have one, it's the one where Rocky Camino was on, and he resigned and went to Frankfurt, and you're on it. Magistrate Bradshaw's on it.
I didn't know it was the same one.
It's the same one.
Does he have a term to explain?
We'll get that one, okay.
It's a committee.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, I'll second that.
Thank you, Bridget. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? And Ms. Brandon, may call the roll?
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And, let's see here. Sandy, do you have anything, I know you're on that. Chair's finished, the lady's finished, you haven't completed slam. I'm finished, so that just, you have, yes, ma'am, yes, Jayla, come on up. Jayla, I'll take some nice.
Here's the receivables for 3/1/2014, the 3 31 of 2014. That amount is $10,476.65. Also, I need to address, again, the roof.
I was just gonna ask you that question.
Yes.
I understand you have a couple more leaks.
Yeah, we have
Did they do a decent job for you, Chair?
on the part, I would say they did. They came back, like, with 1,800 more. I don't know what this other's gonna cost. Now the money in my office, I'm not sure if it's stopped because it's bubbling up again. So I'm not sure at this point. But I know we have 2 new leaks back in the fire room. We have a new leak out in the lobby. And I was called, I can't remember where the other new one was at off the top of my head. So, I mean, are we gonna call him to come back? Or what do I
We
need to do?
could, you know, he's done it, he's done a decent job. I would say let's stick with him. If it's okay with you, because if he's doing a decent job, I would go for it. Do we need to call him, Judge, or does we need to have a motion to have this repaired, or what? I mean,
It sounds to me like, yeah, these are new leaks that need to be repaired, so it sounds to me like we need to make a motion. That's already in the budget, isn't it?
I think that 1,000 is something it was, wasn't it, in the budget?
well, he did some work while he was there.
In addition to what's in the budget?
For the guy that done the.
Well, he did the one, and then he come back and did $1,800 more. So he's gonna come back and do some more.
So this is over what is budgeted. How much was budgeted for this roof?
But I don't think she's talking about what's budgeted, I think she's talking about what you all have approved.
Yeah, it wasn't budgeted at all.
You
It
approved
wasn't
it.
in my
But
budget.
wait, it was in the budget.
Original.
Yeah,
Okay,
originally,
how much was that figure?
I can't remember, 20-some thousand.
What's been spent thus far?
8? No.
No,
I cannot remember.
I don't remember the first one, but the last one was 1,800. The last one.
I say it needs to
It
be
was like
fixed.
18,000, 19,000. That the first one was, give a couple thousand, I think maybe 1,000 different. So we're up to almost to the 20,000 mark, according to what this was gonna cost. I don't know what it's gonna cost this time. And I can't tell you what it's gonna cost to repair where the leaks have made damages,
Or what?
where the damage is inside the detention center. Where it's went so long, it's,
Yeah, because we couldn't get to it due to snow and freezing.
you know, that didn't help, but it's been a lot of damage inside the detention center itself.
How much more do you need, Monica?
I don't know, I know I had those leaks so far, I don't know what the
About
total.
4, right?
I know there's 4. But I haven't talked to maintenance this morning, so I'm sure it rained all night. And it doesn't take much. And usually what happens is it rains, and I guess because the filling is so high, it accumulates up there, and then all of a sudden it busted on us. That's what gets us so much.
Do we need to get bids on this again?
Not if it's over 20,000. But do you want, well, it's up to you all.
I know we hit the $20,000 mark
I say it needs to
now.
be fixed, and it needs to be fixed right. So,
Well, I would suggest having him come back out and give us a bid on that, at least tell us how much it's gonna cost to do this. Bowling, who came out, was it not?
Yeah, originally, remember I gave you all after they come the first time, I gave you the list from DLC when we found the 33 leaks. By the time the next 2 weeks is up, this 2 weeks is up, before that, we came back with the 1,800, we had 100 leaks. This is according to Bowling. So we went from 33 to 100. So he patched those, and then he patched an additional 20, and then he came back and charged for that. I don't know how many was in that 1,800 mark, and now we back again. So I just want to say, I mean,
I'm just tolerating it, I know it's a right thing.
it's just, and I know in between my office and the outside door going into the other main office, the water just ran down in between the wall, which is electrical there, which you know it's gonna mold. And it ran under my carpet. So I just wanted to get it fixed before it gets any worse than what it is. If it takes time to fix it, I just need somebody.
I think you all need to contact KCO too. I mean, there's companies that come out there, Ventex, several other, we've had in the student center, that can dry up that so you can ensure you don't have a mold problem, but you have to get to it ASAP.
Well, DLC came in and took the pictures, and.
I understand that your insurance with KCO, right?
Yeah, the county, but, they came in and took it, looked at it, wasn't pleased, but, you know.
The insurance provider needs to be made aware, and someone needs it out there.
Well, I make a motion that we get Bowling back out there to take a look at it, at least give us a bid on it, and if you want some more bids, that's fine too.
The bowling's just your roof, right?
Yes.
So Jay was saying she has mold inside. There are companies that literally will come in and put injections in the walls and stop the growth of mold. They have machines that can measure if mold's growing, what it is, at what rate, and how to fight it, or get it to tear out the whole place.
Yeah, I don't know if it is.
It would be a lot cheaper to be preventative than.
I can't sit here and tell you that it is. I just, common sense tells me.
Anytime you got water coming in, you're gonna have some mold.
We just used it here. I mean, we had the toilet overflow inside, and because the pipes froze and all that. I mean, those companies have already been over here. Our homeowners, look at it in those terms, our insurance is with KCO. We need to make KCO aware, and then they'll get somebody out here and assign the project that they cover.
Can you handle that, Debbie, Joe? Appreciate it.
So you're gonna call KCO?
Call KCO and they'll get somebody out just regarding the mold, right?
Right. Yeah, she can't have drywall replaced or whatever, we're talking internal, because that needs to be put aside. And they can do an emergency plug till the roof gets fixed and then come back and finalize it. But you don't want to repair all that, roof not fixed, and then you got to go again.
So you're gonna call Bowling first before we allow them to come out and actually.
No, that, you can do both same time.
Do both at the same time. Can you take
Am I
care of Bowling?
calling bowling too?
Well, I can call him if you can't.
Well, I mean, I don't mind, I just didn't know, I just didn't
Do
know.
we need to make a motion on that? Because it needs to be fixed.
The jail is a property of the county, so should be done as well.
Okay, so the deputy judge is gonna call KCO, and you're gonna call the bowling company,
I
right?
can call Bowling, yes.
Yes, our next one, I will call bowling.
Does that need to be a motion? Because Mr. Hunt did make a motion, there was no second, to contact bowling company. Or do you just want it in the minutes that he will contact them?
That's up to the magistrates. I prefer being there, but
You prefer
my
a
office
motion?
has to end up calling, and we'll call it.
Okay. You want a second?
You made a motion, Mr. Hunt, to contact the bowling roofing company to bid on these new leaks. Nobody seconded it. If you would like, I can just put in the minutes that you will contact it. I don't know if that's the motion.
Want a second? We don't want
It doesn't have to be in there. We just need to get the roof fixed. on too long. Okay, so what's our motion? What's our motion, Ms. Brown?
The motion is that Mr. Hunt will contact Bowling Roofing Company for bids on the new leaks.
Okay.
Seconded by Ms. Hutchinson.
Okay. Is everyone clear with that motion? All right, any questions or discussion on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Grant, can you call the roll on that motion?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, now what else do we need to do to get this roof fixed?
I'll call Bowling. I don't have it, the number with me. Do you happen to have it with you, Bowling?
I don't have it with me, I have it in my office.
Okay.
I can call them if it's needed, I mean.
Yeah, if you don't, if you can call them and give me that number, I'll do it while I'm here today and get it started.
Well, it's in my office and they don't, you say.
You just made that motion to call Bowling.
Yeah, I'll call him.
Okay, you said you want to make a motion to do it, you just
Well, it
did.
should be in the judge's office on the original bills that he had. Laura should have it.
Laura will have it on hand.
Okay, I'll get it from her and I'll call him today.
Okay. So Ms. Brandon was clear, so everything's clear as mud. I'm going to make a motion that my office will call Cato concerning the mold issue. Do I hear a second to my motion? Thank you, Bob. We have a motion and a second concerning the mold issue. Any questions, concerns? Ms. Brandon, will call the roll.
Ms. Ascroft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Got that? Okay. Okay. All right.
Martha, I'll try to get that done today and then I'll give you a call, let you know when you get out.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Thank you.
I have nothing else.
Do we need to go into executive session?
I have no need to go into executive session.
No, we're gonna go eat lunch.
I didn't want to go into the.
I was told that we had a personnel issue, but if you all think that it's resolved now, that it matters like we have no other issues. That wasn't mine.
We don't have another.
You all have to decide if we need to go into executive session or not. If you're asking me, do I have anything related to litigation, I do not.
No.
We had an argument with the Supreme Court last week on the smoke ban. I felt very positive about it, but I don't want to curse it. And hopefully we can have an answer anywhere from 60 days to a year. So, you know, we'll wait.
Do we need to have an executive session on the sheriff's situation?
You cannot have an executive session on the budget issue.
That's not executive session material.
Oh,
It has to be personnel, litigation, or land acquisition. Discussing the budget has to be done in open court. Discussing any money, any taxpayer's money, has to be done in open court.
So you're not getting a raise.
expecting that.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, Mr. Bradshaw, Ms. Higgins had her hand up.
I was just gonna say we should have took care of the roof 8 months ago when the leak started. We might not be in this position. Let's just don't do that again. Thanks, buddy.
We were working on this, it just takes a while, and then winter hit, and then January, February, we couldn't get up there with the ice and snow and the weather to do a roof.
Okay, now we're not gonna go back and forth. Now, are you finished?
I'm finished.
Well, then let's Ms. Higgins have this 1 minute before.
That was way too long. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Bradshaw, you have to make.
That's just one person who hit
Mr.
it.
Hunt, we're having a motion on the floor.
Yes.
If you will, please, Mr. Bradshaw, can you make your motion? Oh, good. Come on, adjourn. Is anybody opposed to adjourning? Okay. Mr. Randall, will you call the roll after we do the discussion and question on the motion? None, Mr. Randall, will you call the roll?
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.